left on some ice on the patio. My hip was repaired and was ready to go. A clot caused a stroke, now my body is broke and I can't live alone anymore.
Hopefully, if I'm old and coming to the end of my life, perhaps I would like to be at home, you know, in my own home, or my home of, if I have children, them, or home of a loved one, my husband or sister or whatnot.
I don't want to be in a hospital or a nursing home because it does not have the avocations of one's family life, where one's happiness was always the most profound.
I wouldn't want to be around a bunch of strangers, you know.
Been working so hard with the therapist. Eating is difficult, I make a mess. My right side don't work now, I look like a jerk, and I can't live alone anymore.
I'd like to be home and probably in my lover's arms.
I would like to be in a really quiet place.
There's not a lot of stress like in a hospital, not a lot of machines, not a lot of noise, just sort of like you can be surrounded by your loved ones whenever you want to be, and it's beautiful.
I'd love my daughter to sing to me. She sang to her two grandmothers as they passed.
To have a quiet, peaceful, spiritual departure, to not be afraid.
I would go, hopefully, without any pain, and at home.
Oh, that's a good question. I'd like to be at home with family. Yes, home with family.
I want to sleep in my bed one more time and bid my life farewell.
Given the choice, most of us would prefer to die in the same place we lived, our home, the place our most cherished memories were created. But few of us will have that opportunity.
Well, the history of dying, I can condense the first several thousand years. We know that people died very young out of lack of proper nutrition, out of attacks by animals, out of just the fact that they didn't know how to prolong life, and life was often very difficult and ended probably in the 20s.
At the turn of the century, the 1900s, half of the children under 12 died, and the life expectancy was 48. So everyone knew death.
It was present, it was in the family, and you had the extended family already gathered, and so it was just natural that that was a part of, it was interwoven into life.
And when someone got sick, the women in the family and the women neighbors came and cared for them. When a person stopped eating, they knew they were dying, and the family mobilized and kept vigil.
It's a different deal now because not only is it more rare that we have to experience death, we've got such wonderful medical technology that we're shielded in a lot of ways that way, but we're also scattered. We have families that aren't necessarily next door or around the corner in the same house anymore, and so it's a little more awkward to have to pick up the phone to the daughter in California and talk about these things.
But something that we don't consider is that people who live into their 80s and 90s, which is quite common these days, don't always live healthy and vigorous lives.
Most people now die in a hospital. It's not witnessed. Many family members never even come and do a visitation or at the bedside of someone who's dying. So we have removed it. Am I saying, hey, everyone ought to witness a death? No, I'm not saying that. But it should become much more of a normal way.